I'm waiting for the right time to have an important conversation. And as I wait, every day I'm feeling this battle inside of myself between these two very different energies. One is a masculine energy that's more urgent, and it's very much like now, 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 just initiate the conversation now, don't waste time. And then the other energy is more feminine and it's more patient. And this is the energy that's guiding me to wait for the right moment. And what this internal battle is showing me is that I've been conditioned to believe that waiting is weak, that being passive is weak. It's more highly valued to take action, to take initiative, than to wait for the right time. Now, I want to make it clear that this isn't about waiting to be led by the other person. And this isn't about masking or disguising fear of conversation with waiting. This is about being in the feminine energy of holding the conversation until it's the right time. It's a lot like waiting to pick a fruit from a tree. If you pick it too early, then it's not going to taste good. It's going to be bitter and it's not going to be as nourishing as it would be if you picked it at the right time. And that energy of holding the fruit until it's ripe, until it's the right moment, that is the feminine energy. So this is all pretty new to me. And until recently, it didn't even occur to me that I had this option to be in this feminine energy. So, a few months ago, I took a course in nonviolent communication, which is also called compassionate communication. And my teacher shared that she once waited 3 months to initiate a conversation with her son. And it wasn't about fear of initiating the conversation, it was about making sure that the conversation would land in a safe space. So she was waiting for the right time for that space to present itself and to make sure that both she and her son were in a receptive and open state to share this conversation. And at first, I was so surprised that someone so well trained and educated in conversation would wait so long to have a conversation with her own son. And that made me reflect on how I've been approaching difficult conversations or important emotional ones. And I found that most often I've been in an unbalanced masculine energy. I've often rushed into conversations. My focus has been on what I'm going to say and how I'm going to get my point across. So the focus was very much on the output. And that's the masculine energy. It's very action oriented and it's about expressing yourself. Whereas the feminine energy is more focused on how the conversation will be received. It's more about receptivity and the outcome of the conversation. When I was in this unbalanced masculine energy, I can see now that I was really focused on myself. I wanted to speak now because I wanted to feel better now. I wanted to get everything off of my chest. I wanted to feel that relief. And I think there was also a sense of urgency because there was a fear that I would be misunderstood or that I would miss my opportunity to speak. So for the past few weeks, I've been waiting for the right time to bring up this conversation. And I'm realizing that there is nothing weak about waiting. There's nothing passive about waiting. It's so much harder to be the container and to hold this conversation than to immediately speak, because that immediate output actually serves as a form of relief. Whereas when you're holding that conversation and waiting for the right time, it requires a lot of internal strength and containment, and you need to be present with all of the uncomfortable emotions that come up. You know, we use the expression of holding space for the conversation. And I think that holding space isn't something that just happens during the conversation. It's actually something that begins before the conversation even takes place. And this made me realize that actually waiting is not giving up control. Waiting and being in this energy of holding is actually stepping into a greater sense of control. Because I can see now that when I was in an unbalanced masculine energy and rushing into conversations, I was being controlled by my fear, my anxiety. There is so much more strength and control in being able to trust the timing. So now that I'm in this feminine energy of waiting and initiating conversation at the right time, I see that I'm no longer being controlled by my emotions or my social conditioning of what it means to wait. I'm now leading the energy because I'm making sure that I'm speaking into a space that's ready to hold the truth. So, if you're in this energy of wanting to rush into a conversation, you're feeling that urgency, that fear, then I invite you to pause. You'll know when it's the right time to have this conversation. So until then, trust in your own timing.